Rock Bottom Coins is the #1 place to get your Madden coins. If you make coins for my videos, sell them to Rock Bottom. If you're buying, use my code GUTBOX for 10% off. Hey, Box here. Welcome to Market Monday, where we got a lot of things to talk about. It is a psycho week. Right? This is absolutely nutty. More nutty than that one time I buried those nuts, but I forgot like 3/4 of them and built a forest. But let's not talk about the great redwoods out west. Let's talk about the promo. Yes, I'm old. The promo on its way, right? Combine. They also mentioned they're committed to reduxes here. Team builders also, which is kind of cool too. So they'll bring value to the lower end of the market. But let's just knock it out one by one. So we'll start with AKA the new class. All right, cards today. They came out. We got A-Rod. We got the Unicorn in packs there, and then some middle linebacker, which, really only Lions fans care about. But, that's kind of cool that Lions fans got somebody since they got the future to look forward to, and that's about it. I don't want to poop on Detroit too much today, all right, since they kind of do it enough themselves already. Let's go to the next thing on the list, which is weekly wildcards. Now, if you guys have heard me talk about sets, raw hot sets, you guys have known these things have been profitable for a little bit. Weekly wildcards are no exception. The problem is they're very expensive, and there's sometimes risk with expensive sets. Sometimes maybe the market drops out, whatever it is, but people have made millions off doing those sets. But again, you got to check out and make sure the cards are actually worth grabbing before you just randomly, wildly do a set. Do the math ahead of time, of course. Set components into set master, into factor in the 10% tax, etc., etc. Team builders. Okay. Team builders. Let's do this. Very excited about the Combine and Redux stuff talk here coming, because TVPs are also going away, which are a big deal. So, team builders, which I probably just went by because we're too crazy here. So, we have 84 and 88 current team builders. Now, these could go up to like 92 overalls. We'll see, of course, what they end up doing. As you see, they're running 84s, 82s into the 88s. And these things, dude, team builders have been like the foundational basis of so many players' squads, not necessarily through the cards themselves, but through just doing these sets and completing them and profiting, right? Because people have like almost the entire year, especially when the market drops on like low end cards, outside of like every 2 weeks on like Mondays and Tuesdays when 80s are sky high. Team builders have been an incredible profit spot, so never forget about the team builder sets. So I expect more to come. Obviously, day one, when everybody's eyes are on the team builder sets, there might not be a lot of potential there, or it could be a ton of potential because people might just buy the team builders and have the sets because they're lazy looking at the component costs. So 80s, 82s, okay? All right, then the next team builder at 88s are 84s, 82s. So kind of continuing that, it could be 84s and 86s going forward into 92s. Your guess is as good as mine. Now, it's an educated guess, obviously, with we think what's going to be in team builders. If it's going to be an even number on 92s, then we're going to put even numbers into that. And so it makes a little bit of sense, especially with maybe they want to make it nice to us with some sort of like exchanges to it. Like, right, you know how this starts off? Like you can just change up to 82s, change up to 84s, exchange up to 88s, exchange up to 86s, etc. So hopefully it's like 92s. Obviously 94s would be the coolest ones, but generally team builders are not exactly the best cards. They're basically like backups on a theme team a lot of times, this time of year specifically. So hopefully EA makes them higher overalls, but keep your bar low for team builders. It's really potentially for the set, right? If you guys don't know what set I'm talking about, there was a set earlier this year that rewarded like if you had all of the season masters, if you had Gronk, if you had Casper, and was it Dion? Where are they? I don't know what they're under. But anyways, if you had all those cards, you basically got, it said you get a 99 overall card. So hopefully that's a part of it. Hopefully there's some other big thing coming along with that. So we expect team builders potentially Wednesday. Right, weekly wildcards. We could also get team builders on Tuesday. Maybe weekly wildcards comes out in the morning, builders in the afternoon or something like that, and then Combine Wednesday. Or would you think Combine? Do you think no? All these things aren't going to come out on Tuesday, right? Reduxes. Generally, they have a Thursday release and then a Saturday release. They could skip Thursday this week, which would be very unusual for them. But they could go Tuesday with these two, Wednesday with this one. I guess they could go Thursday Reduxes, and then Friday, or they go back-to-back days Wednesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Friday for the combine releases. So I don't know. I think maybe tomorrow I'll cover this 228 show on the last day of February, and they might give us a day each one I release, so we'll talk about it then. All right, so you also see this combine. We'll talk about the reduxes and the TVPs in a second, what that will do on the market. We kind of touched on it in yesterday's video, but we'll touch on it again. Combine. Let's look at last year's combine promo in MUT 22. So there were 98 overalls. So that's why we kind of expect 98 overalls to come into this year's game, and kind of like, because we've been on 97, it feels like forever. I think it's been like a month or something. So they had 98 overall LTDs. There was a lot of 97 overalls, combine sets. There was one twist that I'll get to in a second, but that's kind of what we expect to go up in overalls. I really didn't expect a Chris Johnson card last year because he was, accused of murder. But apparently, it went nowhere. It was just a murder for hire, right? Just no big deal as long as one step removed from it. Not a big deal at all. So anyways, Byron, Cam, JJ, Julio. I mean, to be fair, it could have just been a random accusation. So innocent until proven guilty, Fox. Don't make any stupid things. But 94s, a lot of content came out, right? A lot of content. So they had like old team chems and old team chems that require the power up on the old. Like, luckily we got rid of power ups. God, those are so bad. Anyone that wants power ups is like an enemy of mine. Dude, power ups are so dumb. So okay. The thing last year that was unique, and I don't know if we'll get it again this year, it was kind of man last year, because a lot of guys end up skipping drills now. Like, a lot of guys ended up just, like, not doing the 40 or not doing the bench press. I think a lot of guys skipped the bench press last year, if I recall correctly. So maybe they don't want to do it again, because it was kind of like, oh, well, they're just not doing it, so it's not worth it. I actually really enjoy the combine. I know there's some push out there for, like, people like, oh, the NFL players shouldn't have to do the combine. Something or other. I actually really like it, right? The NFL's an entertainment thing, and I think combine is like pure entertainment. So I think it's kind of cool when they do the drills and stuff, and we can see them and compare them versus previous stars. Especially now, because nowadays stars, the track is so much faster, so you always look better than the previous stars, right? Like, the technology of running has gotten so much better than it was back in the day. So guys always are faster now than they were 20 years ago, right? They just updated the track a couple years ago, if I recall correctly, in Indy 2. We also had a house rules too. Dude, can they just give us good rewards for house rules? Last house rules was terrible because, like, guys would randomly run through the O-line. Please never do that blitz line again, EA. That was terrible. All right, so this is enough going over last year's combine. I don't love investing in anything for the combine. If anything, the investments of the team builder should be your number one look. But I say that, right? I say that. I talk about investments. But the R word is kind of hanging over. Reduxes. What is EA going to redux? Probably 96s and below. It is EA, so maybe they get slap happy and go with 97s, but I doubt it, right? I really doubt it. In the past, they would have reduxed 97s. Like 3 years ago, I think they had it. If your limited was older than like 2 weeks old, you got reduxed. Nowadays, they do it by overalls. So there's a potential for the reduxes just to be 96s, the potential for everybody's investments to be screwed, and they go back to the old way. I guess we'll see, right? Because we should have had reduxes like a month ago on 96 overalls. But I will say about investing in limiteds. So I went and grabbed a couple of these Grims, because generally investing in high-end offensive lineman pays off pretty well. And he is up he's about slightly where I saw it yesterday. I did notice a concerning trend. I did notice a very concerning. Do you see how many Grims there are? So he wasn't TVPs. He is a lineman, though, which is generally a good return. I went to go grab a couple, and I was getting out-sniped, right? It wasn't even that good of snipes on what the value of the Grim was, and I was getting beat to him. So people were sitting on the filter and out-sniping me for Rust Grims, which leads me to believe there's a high-end amount of competition on the Grim filter, on limited filters themselves, okay? Because people have gotten it in the brains, and it has been a good thing for the last couple of months. Investing in limited is profitable, okay? And it's spread out wide. So we might be on that downswing. Like, if you guys remember September, October, November, into December, investing in limiteds was a losing man's battle. People lost a lot of coins doing it because everybody was doing it. And then people stopped doing it because they got burned so many times investing in limiteds. that limiteds became good to invest in again. So we'll see, of course, with Russ Grimm, whether he goes up or down, and if my theory on there's too many cooks in the kitchen is holding true on limiteds. And limiteds are only good when people aren't talking about investing in limiteds. So people need to get burned investing in limiteds for investing in limiteds to be a good investment. It's just a market dynamic. It's the same thing with methods. Whenever I bring out like, oh, this set specifically is profitable, set goes away from being profitable. Outside of like team builders, surprisingly, team builders have been good. So getting 2 combine releases in 1 week, I would expect to be pretty similar, but I don't know. Maybe they kind of surprise us. And then Ultimate Legends. I will not be here streaming on Saturday. I will be out of town. I've got things to see, people to do. So that's what I want to talk about so far. I want to touch again on the TVPs. It is a very big deal that the TVPs are going away. Now, we've talked about selling your teams before. The thing about the TVPs that we've learned is like the overall market will drop. The overall market, last time the TVPs left the market dropped by 40%, okay? The issue that people have is when they sell their teams, they want to buy back the exact same team. And because a lot of people have the same thought process, those 97 overalls that you're potentially selling are going to get bought up the next day, right? And you really don't have a good opportunity to buy back because everybody's buying back at the same idea. So selling off the teams is kind of a high risk and okay reward type of proposition. Yes, the market will fall, but will it be the cards, right? Because 95% of the cards will fall. But the problem is this: the 5% that people are using on their squads right now. Okay, and those are the ones that maybe will a little bit stickier. Sometimes they go back up in price because people are flush with so many coins, and they got so many coins from converting over through other means, right? So that's the big risk around investing and selling teams around TVPs. I'm not saying it can't be worth it, but that's just put that in your knowledge bank. The market will fall, but we don't know how much. Especially like if the packs come out on 98s and the packs are the odds are updated, we have like a double whammy: variety pack going away, pack odds getting updated. But EA might bring back the TVP again in 4 days. Okay, so you got like a 4-day window that the market drops before it rises again. But if you recall the day the music died, my spreadsheet, if they bring it up from 12,000 to 15,000 in the TVP, which I hope they don't. I hope they leave the TVP out for a while, bring it back maybe when golden tickets are in packs, or just down the road, just wait a while. I hope they do leave it out the game for a while. Then it's going to go, if they bring it back though at 15K, the market's going to go down to 2 per or slightly above 2 per. So right now the TVP pays out about 2.4 to 2.6. So we'll just say 2.5 ratio for the TVP. If they bring it out at 15K, it's going to bring out a 2.0 ratio, which yes, will drop the market, but it won't be significant. And that's kind of that. That's all I got to say. It's all about rambling. I'll see you guys on stream here in a second. Until we meet again.